Hello, Paradise Panther artists. My name is Mrs. Telfer, and I'm excited to be with you today to tell you about our next master artist, Piet Mondrian. Piet is a Dutch artist, best known for his abstract paintings made from lines, squares, and rectangles. The influence of Mondrian's art can be seen in many other things today, from furniture to fashion, just like the apron that I'm wearing today. So let's learn more about this famous Dutch artist. Here we go. I'm wondering if you have ever imagined decorating your bedroom to look like a work of art. I don't mean decorating it by just hanging pictures on the walls to make it look nice. What if you painted the walls, the floor, and even the furniture to look like a large, living painting, where everything fit together to look like a work of art? Can you imagine such a room? Well, there once was an artist named Piet Mondrian who decorated his apartment the way I just described to you. Let's take a look and see if you'd like to live there. I'm not sure if this is how I would have decorated my home. It's very different. This is a photograph of Piet Mondrian's home in New York City. He surrounded himself with his art, but not just in his paintings. He decorated the walls with lines and colored squares and rectangles in red, yellow, and blue. The floor was treated the same way. His kitchen table was painted white with a red drawer. He didn't have the money to buy fancy furniture for his apartment, so he cleverly recycled and painted old fruit boxes to make bookshelves and a table. And look for the painting he was working on. It's leaning against the easel, placed just right to fit in with the rest of the patterns. Other finished canvases were carefully placed to fit in with the wall decorations in other parts of the room. Mondrian was poor his whole life, so his apartment was not in the best part of the city. He didn't have a lot of furniture or belongings, as you can see, so he decorated with his own art. This is the artist who lived in that apartment, Piet Mondrian. He was born in Holland, but lived most of his life in Paris and New York City. Holland is a small country across the ocean in Europe. It's famous for its old windmills and beautiful flowers, especially tulips. As a young boy, Mondrian was surrounded by painters in his family, and he began to paint at a very young age. Mondrian's work gives us the unique chance to follow his steady growth as an artist. Step by step, we can see him learn and change by looking at his drawings and paintings. As you see his paintings today, you will notice a big change from his first artwork to his last paintings. It was hard for a young painter to break away from what was popular at the time. It was really hard to do if the artist, like Mondrian, needed the money from selling his pictures in order to make a living. Here we see a tree. The title of this painting by Mondrian is Red Tree. A painting that shows something the way it actually looks is called realistic. It looks like the real thing. Is this a realistic painting that would look like a photograph taken of the same tree? Without using your voice, give me a thumbs up if you think it is a realistic painting, or give me a thumbs down if it is not. No, this is not a realistic painting. Thank you. You can put your hands away now. If a painting is not realistic, in art we call it abstract. What makes this an abstract painting is the color of the tree, the sky, and the patterns surrounding the tree. But it is not totally abstract because it is still a tree, a living thing. Mondrian painted trees over and over again. Each time he changed the color and form. Each time the trees become more and more abstract. This picture also shows a tree. The title of this painting is Flowering Apple Tree. It is also abstract. As Mondrian painted trees again and again, they kept getting more and more abstract. Look carefully and we can see the trunk from which all the branches grew. The broken lines are repeated for branches. This painting also has a pattern or a design in it. Here, we can't really tell what this painting is supposed to be. It's impossible to tell, but it is about color and balance. Mondrian created his own style of art, new to the world, when he painted this. He used only lines, colors, and shapes, and made them balance. Without using your voice, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you have ever had fun on a teeter-totter or a seesaw before. I bet there are many hands up around your room. Thank you. You can put your hands away now. To be able to go up and down on a teeter-totter, the two ends have to balance. I want you to use your imagination and picture colors and rectangles on this teeter-totter instead of children. To make it balance, we have to use different sizes, shapes, and colors. That's what Mondrian did in his paintings. He balanced his lines, colors, and shapes like children on a teeter-totter. Picture this. On one end of the teeter-totter is a square of red, and on the other side is a square of blue. Instead of balancing size and weight in children, we must balance color and shape to make the teeter-totter work. In this example, the colors red and blue do not balance on a teeter-totter. The red color would make the teeter-totter go down. Here is a yellow rectangle that wants to join the fun on the teeter-totter. The yellow should go on the blue side in order for the colors to be balanced. Now the teeter-totter is balanced, just like in Mondrian's painting. He painted a big red square at the top and balanced it with smaller shapes of blue and yellow at the bottom. Balance doesn't mean they have to be exactly the same. Mondrian said, "The modern painter must turn completely away from nature." Here, I don't see anything from nature, like trees or flowers. Let's look at the lines he used. None of them are curved. They are all straight and all horizontal or vertical. Show me with your hands a horizontal line. Using only your hands, they should be going side to side. Now, using only your hands and not your voice, show me vertical lines. Your hands should be going up and down. Great job, artists. These were Mondrian's strict rules that he followed carefully when working with lines. He only used horizontal or vertical lines. Mondrian was able to paint such straight lines by using a ruler and sometimes long pieces of tape to help him make his very straight lines. Mondrian never changed from straight lines in any of his artwork. For the rest of his life, Mondrian kept painting lines, colors, and shapes. But he also continued to change. Look closely at these two paintings and think about how he changed his style. Here, the change was the addition of many more lines. But those lines are still horizontal and vertical. Some lines are thicker than others, and by adding more lines closer together, it can make you feel like there's a force or a power that wasn't there before. Let's compare the one with many lines to the one with fewer lines. The first one seems more peaceful and quiet with fewer lines. Mondrian liked the simplest of colors, just like you see here. He painted with only primary colors. The primary colors are red, yellow, and blue. We mix primary colors to make up all the other colors. I'm wondering if you are wearing any primary colors today. If so, when I name the 3 primary colors, quickly stand up without using your voice and turn around and sit right back down again. Ready? Go ahead and stand up if you are wearing red. Stand up, turn around, sit right back down. Thank you. Next, if you are wearing yellow, please stand up, turn around, and sit right back down. And the last primary color, please stand up if you are wearing blue. Quickly turn around and sit right back down. Thank you. Great job with those primary colors. Mondrian continued to change and try new things in his art. In the latter part of his life, Mondrian moved to New York City. He painted this next painting while living there and titled it New York City. Here we see only colored lines and no shapes. If you have ever visited a big, noisy city, then you know it can be crowded on the sidewalks and hard not to bump into people. Mondrian loved New York City and wanted to show what an exciting place it is here. We can almost see the many streets, the neon flashing lights, the busy people rushing about. It's amazing that with only lines, Mondrian can make us feel the life of the city. The yellow lines almost seem to jump out at us. We might notice them first because there are lines in yellow, and they are mostly painted in front of the red and blue lines. Broadway is a famous street in New York City where Mondrian enjoyed going. And boogie woogie was a popular form of jazz music when he was living there. Mondrian loved music and loved to dance. He would listen to all kinds of music while he painted. He was listening to jazz music when he painted the next painting. He even gave it a jazz name, Broadway Boogie Woogie. Mondrian combined his love of music with his artwork. He wanted to show that lines, shapes, and colors had movement and rhythm, just like music. Mondrian wanted to show rhythm in this painting. Here we can almost see and feel a beat in his painting. Mondrian himself said that this painting was like a broken jazz rhythm. Notice that the straight lines are not just one solid color, like we saw in the New York City painting. He broke them up by adding little squares of color, like the beat and rhythm of jazz music. We are going to listen to a jazz song called Jumpin' at the Woodside. I want you to notice when the music changes from a steady rhythm to a broken, uneven rhythm. Let's listen. Did you hear how the rhythm changed? But next, we're going to go back to a steady beat. Right there, do you hear how the music changed to another broken rhythm? Great job listening to the jazz music. Now, let's look carefully at this painting. Here, we see two kinds of shapes and three colors. They are the three primary colors, red, yellow, and blue. The lines are painted in two directions, vertical and horizontal. It doesn't seem possible that such an exciting painting like this could be made with so few colors, lines, and shapes. But it feels as if this painting makes you want to move. Go ahead and quietly bounce up and down in your seat. Mondrian would love to bounce right along with you as you look at his artwork. Thank you. We can stop our bodies now. In his paintings and in his ideas, Piet Mondrian has shown us how colors and shapes can be put together to decorate any part of our life. Mondrian's art had a profound effect on modern advertising and product design. You'll be surprised how often you will see examples of his influence on the modern world. Just take a look at some examples here. Great job, artists, as you explored the abstract world of Piet Mondrian. In your art activity, you will be using color, lines, and shapes to express a mood or a feeling in your artwork. Don't forget, keep it balanced. And just like my apron, try to look for some other fun examples of Mondrian's influence in the real world. I will see you next time, Paradise Panther artists. Have a great day.